Hey guys, this is Steven here with another video on how to play some of my favorite puzzles. This one is on Minesweeper, probably one of the most popular puzzle games ever made. The grid size can be of any dimensions, but in this example we have a 16 by 16 with 40 mines. The objective is to sweep the whole field and avoid the mines. So you can indicate which cells have mines, or which cells you think might have mines, by right-clicking, and it generates a flag. If you don't think there's a mine there, you can left click and it will generate numbers or a single number. And what those are clues. They indicate how many mines are adjacent to that individual cell, up to a maximum of 8. So what you'll notice is a green 2 indicates that of these 1, 2, 3, 4 cells that are adjacent to that 2, there are 2 mines. When you see the blue 1, of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells that are adjacent to that one of those 5 contain a mine. Now we don't know which one, and that's part of the game, is to try to use logic and deduction to figure out which cells has mine and which cells don't. Now there can be some chance involved, but you should be able to safely mine most of the field. So I would say probably 95 to 100% of the time you can use logic. There are a few puzzles where unfortunately you'll get down to the very last little bit and it'll be a 50-50 chance. That is probably my only negative thing to say about this game. Everything else, I love it. It's definitely addicting and lots of fun. So I'll solve this puzzle a little bit. I might not do it all for the sake of time. I don't want to bore you guys, but I'll share some tips and tricks as to how I solve these. So first and foremost, you don't want to guess. Again, this is mostly a logic puzzle. So again, 95 to 100% of the time, you can just use logic. What you want to do is you want to work from the given clues. You don't want to jump around randomly and clicking, right? So there's no reason for me to click over here in this randomness because I might just land on a mine. I don't know. And there's no reason to take a chance when you don't have to. Now, if you do run into this situation where you do have to make a guess and you think the odds are 50-50, then it would be beneficial to click randomly, because in that instance, if I click over here, I know that I have a better chance than 50-50 to hit a mine. Okay, now in that chance and situation, unfortunately, I did hit a mine, but that's the first tip I would give. Now the second tip I would give is that there are certain patterns that tend to repeat. If you see ones in a corner, like this one up here, you know that this has to be a mine. It's the only cell that's adjacent to the one that's not been solved. These grayed out cells are just empty cells, so you can't click in there. Those have already been solved. It's these, I guess they're embossed cells are the ones you have to figure out. So here's another one in a corner. You can flag that. Here's another one in a corner. So you could flag all of those, right? And so that's very helpful. The next tip is 2's in a corner. So here you notice there's a 2 in a corner with 2 cells adjacent to it. You know that those are going to be mines. Same with this 2 in the corner. So you can solve those pretty easily. Now 3's along the edges, so we actually have a 3 here along an edge. With 3 adjacent cells open, you know that all 3 of those are going to be flagged. So those are the easiest ones. Definitely start with those. The next thing is if you see double 1's along an edge. So here we see 2 1's along an edge. We know that we can click on this cell to solve it. And the reason for that is a mine is going to be either here or here because of this one. And either way, we know that this one is solved. And so this cell here does not have a mine. Right, so again, I don't know which one of these 2 have a mine, but I do know it's not this cell. And then the last pattern to recognize is a 1-2-1. Now, unfortunately, we don't have one of those patterns up on the map right now, but I'm sure we'll come across one eventually, and I'll show what that means. So what I'll do now is I'll just play along a little bit more just so you can see how this unravels a bit. Now this one is going to be either have a mine there or there. Either way, that solves this one, and so we know these three are solved. In the same situation here, there's going to be a mine here or here, which would solve this one, and so we know that those are good. Now here we look at this one as solved, so we can click on all of those that were adjacent to it. And here we have ones in the corner, so we can hit those. That solved 2. We have a 2 in the corner, so we could put those 2 in. Another 2 in a corner, hit that. And now this 2 solved, so the 3 adjacent to it have no mines. Same thing here, this 1 solved, so the 3 adjacent along the top don't have mines. The 1 in the corner, we can click that. And you can see as we go along, the puzzle starts to fill in a little bit. And so we can see this one already has a mine attached to it. And now here's that 1-2-1 pattern that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is interesting because you automatically know those are the mines there. And the reason for that is if you look at this 2, it can't have the 2 mines there because that would violate this 1. And you can't have the 2 mines there because that would violate this one. So what the shared rule is you can't have a mine in the middle here. It just doesn't work. So you know that the 2 mines have to be on the outside. And that is extremely helpful because you'll see this pattern come up time and time again, and you can just quickly solve all of those numbers, and you can see how fast that opened up. So here's another 1-2-1 pattern. So the mines go in front of the ones, and it solves all of that. And the one tip too, if you want to go really fast, is once you get good at it, you wouldn't even have to click on the mines. You wouldn't have to flag them, is what I mean. So, because taking the time to click on the flag is wasteful. So as I go through here, you can see I'm solving all of this without clicking on any of the mines or flagging any of the mines. And so it's a lot of fun. I definitely would recommend giving it a shot. Now, when you're first starting off, I definitely recommend that you utilize the flags because it's very helpful for you to visualize it. Without doing the flags, sometimes it could be hard. But start off with the smaller puzzles. They're a little bit easier, and then as you get better, gradually move on to the bigger and bigger ones and move faster and faster. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more in the future. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.